So where are you at?
I'm at home getting ready to go to Heroes Con.
How good does it feel to be going back to cons?
It feels really good.
Because I know you're someone that actually likes going to cons. Like you enjoy meeting people. I've met you. We've talked many times at
Yeah.
Montreal and in Ottawa and stuff. And my daughter's bought stuff from you. You're really
Yeah.
good. You're good with people. And you seem to genuinely enjoy it.
I do. I mean, you can't do this many conventions if you don't enjoy it. It would be
Yeah.
a nightmare if you didn't enjoy it with all the traveling and the running around. But no, it's I love it. It's good to meet all the people that keep you employed and
Yeah.
so that's always good. And especially since COVID, it's
Yeah.
been especially nice to get back to the normal routine.
So what have you been doing over the last couple of years? Because I think the last time I saw you was quite a while back.
I think it was at like Montreal about 3 years ago. So I think it was 2019. That would be 3 years ago.
That
Yeah,
sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I still have been pretty busy because during the first year of COVID, things got shaken up a little bit. But Archie, kind of they kept publishing, even though the comic shops were kind of in flux for a little while. Our main thing is our digests.
Right. Of
And
course.
those are in Walmarts and in supermarkets, and so those places never closed. So
Yeah.
we actually had an increase in sales because of everybody was going to the supermarket. That was the only place you could go during COVID.
100%.
Um,
Of course.
so I kept busy doing that, and then really just even though there was no conventions, a lot of people had extra money or they were not going to conventions, so they were having me do commissions for them from home because they still wanted to kind of feel like they had sort of like the convention experience a little bit.
Right.
So I was doing a lot of commissions, and again, it was just kind of like a good kind of time to reset because I had a lot of stuff around my house I needed to get done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was able to sort of focus on some things at home. And then when things got kind of rolling again in like 2021, like last summer, things started to start kind of getting back to semi-normal.
Yeah.
Um, just kept busy. Archie kind of has kept me busy with stuff, and then I did the last fall. I did the Kevin Keller Kickstarter,
Yeah.
which kept me really busy, which is keeping me busy now because now the books are in and I'm drawing in them and signing and all that. So the Kevin Keller Kickstarter kept me busy, and now with Sabrina, we're doing the 60th anniversary of Sabrina this year. So I'm working on some stuff for that. So that's keeping me busy, and I'm still doing my regular digest stories and all that stuff.
So you're doesn't sound like you slowed down at all.
No. This year, I think right at this moment, I'm probably the busiest I've ever been. So that's good.
It's funny you bring up the digests because and people buying a lot, obviously going to the grocery store, it's the one place you can go to. But one thing that I found was a common theme throughout the last couple of years with people is they went back to things that comforted them, things that were
Yes.
comforting, things that reminded them of their childhood, things that were
Mhm.
safe. And it doesn't surprise me that, the Archie Digest, I mean, God, growing up, when my mom would come back and bring me one of those, if it was a double digest, oh my God, I would freak out. So the fact
I
that
think there's
those,
probably a lot to do with that. I think it's
yeah,
probably why we did do well during the pandemic was because people were in the supermarkets,
yeah,
only place you could go basically, and they
yeah,
saw the books. And I know like even like during like 20 years ago, even like during 9/11, we kind of had like an uptick in sales around that time too. And again, it was probably just this nostalgia comfort factor. It's just like something that's, it just makes you feel good. Like how people go and watch old TV shows sometimes and things like that from nostalgic things that make them feel better. So we definitely have, there's definitely something there that, in that with Archie in that situation.
Obviously, you take on characters from the Archie universe. They're iconic for a lot of people. They're holy grail. Did you ever run into any time where you were trying to bring characters in a different way and you met resistance?
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Kevin, who's gay, and
Yeah,
then other like newer characters who may be, in the LGBT, community,
sure.
um, you get some pushback. I mean, with Kevin, it was minor. It was definitely there because we got, there was a few threatening voicemails and phone calls, but it's very minor. So I try to put it in the right perspective. I don't let it like get to me, but when Kevin came about, the Archie fans were actually fine with it. The
Of course.
longtime Archie fans. It was mostly people that never read Archie.
Yeah.
So why they cared, I don't know. And some of the conservative groups that kind of weren't happy about it. Yeah, the pushback is just, you have to, it's part of the deal. There's always going to be someone that doesn't like something you're doing. And so, they're just kind of background noise. I just don't worry about it.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with a character, it's kind of like when Disney tries to do anything that's forward pushing. When you're dealing with these characters that have been around for 70, 80 years, it's tough for people to see them in new lights. But the reality is, there's always been characters that have evolved, and I think it's great when you look at characters in the Archie universe that are evolving. I also love the mashups that Archie does.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When you're doing like Archie versus the Punisher, Archie and Kiss, like the Archie Kiss stuff is great.
Yeah. I loved working on that.
Yeah. So let me ask you, your dealings with Gene Simmons? Because I know Gene, for the most part, when it comes to anything to do with Kiss, Gene has his finger on the pulse of everything. Was it the case with Kiss and Archie?
He was really hands off, believe it or not. I mean,
wow.
Okay. I know it's not what you typically expect from him, but yeah, I did notice he has like a real deep respect for comic book artists and he's a big comic book collector.
Yeah.
So like he really let us just do our thing. I mean, he had to approve all of the artwork, and he approved it really quickly. Very few changes. I think there was a couple minor changes, but the only thing he wanted the original art. I
was gonna say, because I have a friend of mine, my friend Jose Holder, worked on Kiss Kids, and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Gene contacted him directly and said, I want some of the original art. So that's got to be fun, because it shows that he's a real collector.
Yeah, and he's got the original art, and it was fine. I mean, I could have made a fortune selling the original art, but what Archie did is Archie actually paid me for the original art, and then they gave it to Gene. So I did get paid for the original art.
Okay.
And then they gave it to Gene as part of the deal.
Part of the package.
So it worked out really good for both of us. But I still have people asking me for original art from that. So if I had the pages now, I could really sell them for a fortune. But it's fine. It's fine. It was such a fun project. But no, he was great to work with, and I did 2 signings with him and Paul Stanley from Kiss, and they were great. They were really good. I didn't see any of the the stuff you see on the reality show, which is also they exaggerate the behavior on those reality shows, of course. But no, he was as pleasant as can be.
Well, when Gene's in a setting where he's meeting, and I've met Gene many times to chat with him, when he's in a setting where he's there to be Gene Simmons of Kiss and meet fans, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He'll never.
I noticed that too. At the book signing too, he wouldn't leave until everybody was taken care of. He definitely has a respect for his fans, so which is always important.
Yeah, you get him in the green room though; it's a different thing.
That'll be another story.
No, he's really in that setting. He's wonderful, and I'm really glad that you had a good experience with him with that.
Yes,
because that would suck if you put all that time in and he ended up being a dick.
That would, but fortunately, that wasn't the case.
Amazing. Well, listen, you're coming back to Montreal.
Yes.
We're really, really excited to have you back. I know.
Me too.
I know you like coming to the Montreal show.
I love coming to Montreal.
Someone was telling me they were looking through Wikipedia and they saw you at another con in the States wearing the Montreal shirt, so they were very proud of that.
Oh, I wear that shirt so much, and I wear it to all the other cons too, so they don't seem to mind. But no, there was the Darwin Cook shirt from the show from 10 years ago. He did the art for that.
Yeah,
and I actually have another one because I wore out the first one.
Oh, well, we're going to have to.
So the Montreal guys gave me another one a few years ago. So I'll keep that shirt in style as long as it doesn't, disintegrate.
That's amazing. Thanks so much for taking the time, man. You're always a highlight at our shows, and you've always been a great guest at our shows, and you're great with fans. You've been great with my daughter. So thank you so much. Thank you for being awesome. Safe travels, and we can't wait to see you in Montreal.
See you soon. All right. Thanks.
Take it easy.